Hey everybody, Chad here. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of my La Casita condo here in Hua Hin, Thailand. But this is how the video is going to break down. Okay, right after this, we're going to go downstairs and I'm going to show you the whole tour of the grounds. After that, we're going to come back upstairs. I live in a one bedroom, so I'm going to give you a tour of my one bedroom. That way you can see everything that comes with a one bedroom. You can see the views and everything else. Then the third thing after that, we're going to sit down and I'm going to discuss with you some pros and cons of La Casita. Now, I've been here for 1 year at La Casita, not Thailand. I've lived in Thailand for 3 years. But anyway, let's lo and behold, let's get rock and rolling and shoot downstairs. Hey everybody, okay, I am out front of La Casita Condo. So it is 6:30 in the morning, like I said, because I came out early just to keep the sound down because we're over here by the big road, so this produces a lot of sound as far as the video. But I'm out front La Casita, so what we're going to do is we're going to go inside. I'm going to flip around the camera so I can really give you a good tour so you're not really looking at me. But I just want to give you some basics here. Is La Casita's by the big road here. So if you cross the street, the ocean is on the other side of these buildings. So the ocean's only, I would say, max a 10-minute walk. Because how you get to the ocean is there's little passageways. Once you cross the street, cross the big road, there's little passageways. One's down here and one's up here that go directly to the ocean. So you have the Hua Hin Ocean here. This, to me, this is probably the best ocean, like in Hua Hin, okay, is your La Casita is by. Also across the street, just down here, caddy corner, you have a 7-Eleven. 5-minute walk, you just have to cross the street. There is a crosswalk down here, if you can see the light. You have Bangkok Hospital right here. Like I'm pointing right there. You can kind of see the sign a little bit. So you're right by Bangkok Hospital, just in case you need it. Hopefully you don't, but that's like just right here. It's just probably a couple minutes away. Then this way, you do have Market Village. That's one of the big malls here. Then if you go the opposite way, you have Bluport. You have Bluport Mall. So they're both, you're right in the middle. So they're both a 10-minute walk each direction. So you're right in the middle. Now, Market Village, in my opinion, is way more popular. Once it hits high season from November to February and it goes clear up until May, Bluport has all types of activities every single night, starting probably mid-November. They have like almost like a beer garden, a band that plays there you can walk down to. And then also when you're walking, there's tons of restaurants this way and the opposite way. So I just wanted to share that with you so you kind of know. But I know the sound's kind of horrible right now just because people's going to work. But right now I'm going to flip around the camera. We're going to go inside La Casita so I can really show you what's going on. But other than that, let me flip around the camera and I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, I just had a funny thing that happened. I flipped around the camera at La Casita, but I just took you on the tour. I forgot to hit record. So let's do this take 2, the La Casita. So, you walk straight in, you have the security. Security hangs up right here. Then you have the parking over here where the gates are right there. That's parking. Then we have to the right, we have a little wash station right here. Everybody can use. Usually you do it to wash their beaches like he's doing. And we will talk about parking here. I'll show you the parking area in a little bit. But when you walk on in, this is an excellent view. Okay, La Casita is more of kind of like a Spanish theme. Once we go inside, you'll be able to see it, but it's very, very, very clean. This is one of the reasons why I love La Casita. They do an awesome job at keeping it very clean. Everything is well groomed, well trimmed, like even all the bushes. I mean, they don't let things get overgrown and get ugly. So we'll walk down here in a little bit, but to the left, we're going to go into, this is the main building. This is building A. This is where the office is, all the essentials. This is actually where I live. This is the best building to be in my opinion. So this is a little help desk. Sometimes the staff sits at. Then like I said, the lights are off because we're doing this about 6:30 in the morning. That way I'm not bothering people. Plus the sound is very, very low. So just chairs all around, waiting area, more of a Spanish theme. Okay, but very, very clean, very well put together. So I'll just show you around where you can sit down, relax, have a cup of coffee. Some people come down here in the morning just to kind of enjoy the serene of the view. You can also see the view through here. You can see a little glimpse of the pool. La Casita has one of the biggest pools in Hua Hin. In my opinion, they have probably the top, it's probably the top 3 pools in Hua Hin, and La Casita is one of them. So when you see the pool, you will be amazed. Now over here you have the mail. This is where all the packages come in, not so much you get letters and stuff. So when you see A, B, C, D, this is the buildings. He's coming out saying hello. So this is where if you order a package, where they set all the packages and sometimes they store them inside here. Right here, this is a juristic office, but they are closed right now. They come in at 8 a.m. Then we have a big sitting section right here. Some people come down here and play games and play cards. Some of them work. Little waiting area couch. Again, people come down here just to chill, just to get out of the room. You see the pool right here. This is the long length of the pool. Where usually people in the morning will swim laps. So hopefully I can kind of get this done before that starts, but that picks up a lot of noise. But circling around, you can see the Spanish theme. Okay, it's just very, very well put together. The lights are off right now. It is early in the morning, but very super clean. Like I said, I've been here for 1 year. So the whole time I've been here, they keep this place crazy clean. I mean, it's not, it's not one of these places where they kind of let it go and get dirty, and then people complain and then finally clean it. Okay, now over here, we have the towel bin. This is, you can buy coffee, Thai tea, all types of drinks. This is crazy popular in Thailand. And it's, honestly, it has a very high quality flavor. I come down and get this maybe every couple of weeks because I make coffee up in my condo, but they have terrific espresso here. But I mean, I'm not even joking. This is an excellent brand. So this thing, they make some money out of this thing. So juristic office, let's go around here and I'll show you the rest just to give you a good idea of what's going on. The mail room's over here. So if you do receive any like mail or letters, not packages, it's only come in here. So if you're only here for a couple of weeks or a month or a few months, you might not ever use that, but that's more for the owners. To the left, again, we got the bathrooms down on the ground floor. The bathrooms are crazy clean. I don't think I need to show you. It's not like you really want to look at a bathroom. Now, if I go to the right, now if I lived on the ground floor, this goes straight down to some condos if you live on the first floor. Go to the left again, this is a laundry room. So where you go get laundry and water. These are dryers. This is where you can put your clothes, or sometimes housekeeping will come down here and put clothes. If something happens, people leave their stuff in the dryer. These things are too small though. For a condo, these things are super small. They're 50 baht, that's like $1.25. And if you're kind of moving it over to US dollar. Over here you got 2 giant washers. Sometimes I use the washers as far as like the bedding and the comforter, but other than that, we do the laundry upstairs in the condo. Then you have the reverse osmosis water machine. I use this probably weekly. This is where most people get their water. You see these little jugs? What most people do, they buy jugs from 7-Eleven, they come refill them here. Now I have a water machine up in my condo. I'll show you that later. But this is super, super cheap. Like I fill up like a 5-gallon water container for only like 14 baht. But 14 baht is literally like 40 cents. We're at a dead end. Condos down there if you live on the first floor. So now let's kind of go out. So I want to show you the pool. But I want to give you a good idea of the whole condo complex here. It's just fantastic, beautiful, super clean. Okay. Then we're going to go out right here. I'm walking right out to the pool. You can see the long length of the pool. Just beautiful. And this is a huge pool, and you'll realize this in a second once we take a walk. To the left, another waiting area outside. Not really a waiting area, but it's a lounge area. Now, the sprinklers or the fountains are not on yet. These are set on a timer. These kind of pop on at 9 a.m., but right now it's too early. And I really wanted them on because it really does add to the scenery to see all the amenities working, but it just adds too much sound. So when I'm trying to talk over the fountains and the water and people swimming, it just adds way too much sound to it. So it's just beautiful, like I said, beautiful, clean. This condo complex is only about 5 years old. So I think they built it in 2019. I've been here since 2023. This is the end of 2024 right now. There's another little lounge area outside. People just lounging, either reading, playing with their phones, just chilling in the morning. You can see the long length of the pool right here. If we swing back around, so you know where you're at, if you go straight, this is building D, by the way, you're looking at. But if you go straight, you go to the parking. I'll show you that in a little bit. The security's down there. This is where we came from. So let's swing around and actually walk up so I can show you the whole grounds and the whole length of the pool. Now, when I'm starting right here, the pool's right over here. So the pool is the whole length. The whole time I'm walking here, that's the length of the pool. So the pool is huge here. You see a fountain over here, and you can tell just from the grounds, the grass, they keep everything well trimmed. Okay, I'm not trying to trick you guys where I'm coming out on cleaning day. And that's one thing I really got to say. I know I say it over and over and over. Since I've been here for 1 year, they do keep this place crazy clean. Another lounge area. Some people come out here and they eat. They go buy, a cup of coffee or whatever, Thai tea, pick up some street food, and they come over here and eat. As long as you pick up your trash, they don't care. Like another lounge area. I don't know if you recognize this. This is where sometimes I do some of my videos. Sometimes it's not like this view right here, but you actually see the view of the pool. Then over here, sometimes I do my videos over here. Then you have a kids area, a little toddler area. A lot of times the kids love it here. A lot of people bring their kids or they have kids. Dude, they play down here all day long. I mean, all day long. I'm not even joking. So if I walk over here, you can see the length of the pool too. So I'll give you a better view here in a second. So you can see how the pool is following me the whole time. Well, not really following me, but maybe I'm following the pool. You didn't know this was going to be a little bit of a comedy show. But it feels like a comedy show because I actually walked around and did this with my camera off. Okay, someone's going to school. So we got some kids going to school there. He looks excited. So now he looks sad because he's going to school actually. But now we're kind of getting to the point where we can go left or right. We have a little gazebo here. Lots of times I'll come down and hang out right here, like read a book. Just sometimes just chill. Maybe not meditate, but just kind of take in all the scenery and stuff like that. Someone's over there getting ready to swim some laps. But over here, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful walkway, almost like you're getting married. We road travel down through there, but in a second, what we'll do is we'll start over here by the bridge. We'll cross the bridge. We'll walk up and around. Then we'll come down this way. So that way I can show you the whole grounds. Now the light's starting to come out. Just fantastic views here. Now this is a big area of the pool, the gazebo again. Then we're going across this bridge. Now I'll show you both sides of the pool from here. Now if I go left, Okay, this is the long area. This is where we just came from. This is where we just walked over here. There's a lot of people do laps down through here. This is the long section of the pool. It's not super deep. It's only maybe 3 feet, 3.5 feet, something like that. But a lot of people do laps. You can see over here, little, you can wait, you can sit and wait. They don't really like you drinking in the pool. So they might say something to you if they see you do that, but you can wait, or be a group of people sitting around there. Also on the ground level, if you live on the ground level, you can see from your balcony, there's steps. You can come right out to the pool and get in the water. If you have all these condos right through here, I mean, you can go right down. You can see these little things right there. You can go right down and walk right down into the pool, which is kind of cool. Now over here, I'm still on the bridge, but you can see the big section of the pool. So this is the big area. A lot of kids play in here. We got this slide over here. See, someone's getting ready to do laps. We got the slide over here. Then right here, usually around 9 a.m., they turn on, they have a bunch of sprinklers that kids play on. This is a baby pool right here where the toddlers play. It's not deep. Then they have sprinklers going up. Really wanted to show you that, but it does create a lot of sound. It makes it more beautiful, but it's just the sound, me trying to talk over the sound, that makes it a little bit tough. Now, if I walk down, if I follow this passageway really quick, this leads over to the parking. So if you go here, this leads over to the condos. If I keep on following it, I don't want to confuse you. So you can go down here to the condos, then the little sneaky passageway to the parking area. But we won't go through the parking area right now. But I will show you, because I think parking is super important, and I'll explain why once we get there. So you can see another area, another kid going to school. So he looks a little bit more excited, but he probably don't want to go to school. But you can see the slide here, the little twirly slide. This thing goes pretty fast. I've been on it several times. And this is a big section of the pool. A couple chairs to sit on. Someone left a water bottle here. This is a shower station to take a shower before you get in. The bridge again we walked across. And I'll show you different sceneries of the pool too. We're walking on this opposite side as well. But just fantastic, fantastic views. And again, just like super clean, super well put together, super maintained. And I know I keep on saying that, but once you have experience here in Thailand and Asia, the Philippines, you'll notice like how important it is for condos to stay clean. Even new condos. I've went and seen condos that are 3, 4, 5 years old, and you could tell they're unkept. Like they don't keep it up very good. We have the gym over here, and then we have another area of the pool. View of the pool here. Fantastic. Now you can see people starting to wake up, go in, do some laps. And I'll show you the gym really fast. What up, buddy? Hey. Now, right now I am in building C. So I'll explain this in a second. 7-Eleven here, probably the most tempting area for a 7-Eleven machine. Now the machines here, in my experience with 7-Eleven, that's different from the United States, is that it's really the same price as 7-Eleven. You don't see like a tremendous price jump as far as here in Hua Hin. Maybe in Phuket a little bit. Phuket would be a little bit more expensive, but it's literally the same price as 7-Eleven when you go into these machines and 7-Eleven machines. So probably in the most tempting place, you go to the gym, right when you come out, you're looking at snacks and food and all that jazz. Bathrooms are over here. Now let's go into the gym real quick. I won't stay too long in here, but I just wanted to show you. That way I can kind of respect people's workout privacy. Okay, over here, we have a sign-in area, but if you live here, you don't need to sign in. We have 2 bikes over here, 2 stair steppers, then 2 treadmills over here. Then all this has a terrific view of the pool. So if you're sitting on this bike, working out, sweating your sweating your heart away. You're staring at this view right here. So a terrific view, terrific spot for a fitness center. Then over here, we have the lap hold down for the back. This is the whole back machine. This is chest and shoulders machine. Then we have a couple benches. Then we got the free weights over here. But all in all, the fitness center is not bad. I mean, for the size of the condo, with there's 700 units here, the fitness center is a little bit small for the size, but it's still, like in my opinion, looking at condos, this still is a fantastic fitness center. They keep it very well maintained, super clean. So let's get out of here. That way, people don't get irritated with me when they're trying to work out in private. They're like, he's filming me. But like I said, I just walked out the door, and what do my eyes see? My eyes look at the 7-Eleven. So I'm trying to get in shape, trying to lose this fat belly on me, and I'm looking at potato chips. But anyway, here's the elevators for building to go up. We are in building B, or coming out of building B. This is the corner. This is can be confusing. This is the corner of building B. Then once we just walk a little bit, we'll be over to building C. So we have a lounge area. I mean, this place, especially in high season, this pool is flipping packed. I mean, there's almost no room to sit sometimes. So we have the little bridge here. We walked across. So then we came up this way. This is the kiddie pool right here. Usually they have giant sprinklers come in. Kids run through it. It's fantastic. It looks awesome. But again, it's just when I'm coming down here, when everybody's down here, everything's on. The sound. I mean, one, it's just respecting people's privacy, but then two, it picks up so much background sound. So we are going to walk down through here, but that's a beautiful little walk here. The pool. And like I said, just fantastic views. When you come down here in perfect lighting, you can make some awesome pictures down through here. And once we pass these little bushes, another huge lounging little area. People sit here and relax. These are actually super comfortable chairs to kind of sit on. They try to put it in the shade. The mosquitoes aren't really too bad, like with the trees. One of the nice things they do here is they spray for mosquitoes every month. So they keep the bugs and mosquitoes down. I mean, just in case that kind of, you might be thinking about that because all the trees. So this is a fantastic area. Sometimes I come down here just to chill, because if imagine you sitting here and this is your view. If I'm sitting up here lounging, this is my view I'm looking at. Sometimes I come down here and just steer the view, get into a sense of gratitude. Because I know if you're on my channel, all my channel is about success development, manifesting, wealth, health, and prosperity. So just coming down here, just taking everything in. This is the view here. Now straight ahead, before we actually walk down this way, straight ahead is the grill area. We have a grill over here and all the seating area. Right there we have a worker. They're starting to come out. They've got the grill right here. So it's getting close to about 7 a.m. right now. So they're starting to come and starting to clean. And it's funny, you haven't been to Thailand before. Usually Thai, if they work outside, they don't like to be super dark. So you'll see them wearing like masks and stuff like that. That way, when they're out in the sun, they're just not getting darker and darker and darker. I mean, that's really an Asia thing. So anyway, let's walk down through here. This is a nice little beautiful walk. Probably look kind of weird if I was running down through here. That kind of reminds me if I was getting married or you have an engagement party or something like that, and you're walking down through here. This would be terrific if they decorated it. Even at nighttime when they turn on all the lights, this is fantastic down through here. I mean, that's a whole nother thing when this is kind of lit up at nighttime. because right now it's morning, of course. When this is all lit up at nighttime, you got lights in the pool that's lit up. This is lit up, as you can see all the lamps here. Okay, so it looks very beautiful at nighttime when you just come down here and walk at nighttime. It kind of gives you a very peaceful, serene type of feel. Plus, you have just this fantastic view. Just a meaning of like being grateful where you are. Okay, now let's walk back down through here. This is where we came from. So we got the long section of the pool. Okay, we got the bridge over here, the gazebo. Then this is where we started from before we started wrapping around the pool. So now let's walk down through here, and I'll show you the parking. Now, like I said, the parking is super important. That's why I want to show you the parking. A lot of people don't show parking. A lot of people don't talk about parking when they do videos in Thailand. I don't know why. I think a couple reasons. One, they don't have a car or they don't have a motorbike. So to them, parking doesn't mean anything because they don't own nothing. But parking is super important when you pick a condo because it's not just Thailand, but it's pretty popular in Asia. I don't know why they do this, is that they make the parking smaller than the complex. And I'll explain here in a second once I show you. So we're back up front. You can see I won't say the sprinklers, but the water fountains. Okay, all these water fountains would be on. I don't know if I said that. They turn on about 9 a.m. So it doesn't just look like bare, like nothing's happening. Once everything turns on, it just gives a way more beautiful effect. But again, like I said, I wanted to keep the sound down. This is going out to security, or if you're walking and not driving, this is where you would go. Now this is building D. You have a little waiting area over here. The elevators over here to go up for your condo. There's me. Wave. Now we're going out to the parking. Now the parking, there's several entrances to the parking area. Now, ironically, this is where I was when I realized I wasn't filming the first time. So you can imagine how frustrated I was. I happened to look at the camera and I was like, I didn't even push record. So anyway, so why is parking so important? Okay, with La Casita, one of the drawbacks of La Casita, I would say would be a con, is the parking. Is because La Casita, the complex is huge. There's 700 units in La Casita, okay? But the parking only holds 200 parking spaces. So I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but 700 units and 200 parking spaces. So there's not even one parking space per condo. So that's why I mean, like, you need to know the parking situation. Okay, parking is super, super important to me. Okay, now I'm walking up here. This is motorbike parking. And I'll tell you the rule here real quick. But look down through here. This is where all the cars park. Over here to the left, this is motorbike parking. Technically, now if you're an owner, it's a little bit different. But technically, if you own a motorbike or you own a motorcycle, they want you to park right here. Okay, and you can see, I mean, with La Casita right now, it's only maybe like half full, and the motorbike parking is full right now. You know, my bike's in there too, but I won't show it to you. That way you'd be like, that's his bike. But I mean, they technically don't want you to park in parking spaces. There's a few parking spaces here outside. Then the parking actually wraps around. So you can actually wrap around. If we go over here on the opposite side, this is the big pool again. So you kind of know where you're at. So this is motorbike parking. Motorbike parking. The only thing I don't like about motorbike parking when it gets super full like this is people scratch your bike. So if you own your bike, you bought a brand new motorcycle, you bought a Honda CBR, you bought a Ducati, then they want you to park it here, then people pull up to you and scratch your bike. That's kind of the situation we have going on here right now. Then over here, we have more parking. Then if we walk clear up and around, this wraps around. It goes farther around. But again, there's only 200 parking spaces. I won't bore you with doing a whole tour. But my whole point here is if you know you don't come to Thailand and you're gonna have either a motorbike or a motorcycle, or you're gonna buy a car, wherever you live, you want to see the parking area. You want to make sure it's covered. I don't want to park out here in the sun. Okay, like this is covered for the motorbikes, because you have to understand with Thailand, you have the heat and the rain. The heat is extreme, plus the rain is extreme. So the heat, if you're not parked in the shade, it's going to ruin your paint job on your car, especially if you buy a brand new car. So that's kind of my rant about the parking, but it is very, very important. And a lot of YouTubers that show you that even live in Thailand never talk about parking. And like I said, the reason why they don't talk about parking is because they don't own a car, they don't own a motorbike, because they live in Bangkok. Bangkok is super crowded, and they're really just, ultimately, they're just scared to drive in Thailand. But if you're going to plan to live here, you're eventually going to drive. So we're walking to the entrance here. You can see the gates. There's a little glare. I don't know if you can see the workers coming in. So the staff starting to come in. I can see them, but it's blocked by the glare. So this is the gate where you pull in. Another thing we're parking, especially here at La Casita, we'll talk about this in a little bit, is here when parking is very limited, the parking should only be for residents. But here they let the staff park here. They let people who don't live here park here. They let visitors park here. So it just takes away from all the residents parking. So now this is the tour from the ground area. I think I did a pretty good job as far as showing you everything around. And the staff is starting to come in. This is security way down here. You can kind of see them. More staff's coming in. And I live in this building. I live in building A. Building A is probably the best. I can't remember if I shared this with you. The reason why building A is best is because you live in the main area. So you live where the juristic office works. You live in this beautiful area. When I come downstairs, this is what I see, okay? And I can see the direction of the pool. I live straight up. So I have, my balcony has a view of the pool. Another thing you have to keep in, I didn't talk about, I shared the first time and I wasn't recording, but I want to share it. Just stay with me here for a second. I want to share this, is when you're looking for a condo, you really have to pay attention to how the sun rises. Here, the sun rises over here by the ocean. The ocean's over here. It rises in the ocean. Then it moves across like this, okay? You really have to pay attention to how the sun hits your condo. So lots of times when I'm looking for a new condo, I'll ask how the sun's hitting, because if the sun hits your condo, what that means is it's going to be hot. You're going to run the air conditioning all day long because it's going to be hotter. Another thing to keep in mind is heat rises. So lots of times the higher you go, the warmer your place is going to be. So the reason why building A, this is building A I'm showing you. The reason why building A, everybody's trying to get in building A. This building A is shaded. Then when you start moving around here, you can see the sun hitting, even though it's early, the sun's hitting right here. See that? You can see the color difference. These condos out here are going to be super hot, but that's how the sun is hitting. So the sun hits here, the sun moves around, hits all these buildings here, and the sun hits up here in building B. So when the sun hits your condo, hits your balcony, hits your windows, it's way warmer. Trust me on this. So you kind of learn from experience. I've been in Thailand right now for 3 years, been in La Casita for 1 year so far. So you learn from experience. So we're walking back into the main entrance. Again, very clean. Now the lights are on. So because everybody's kind of waking up and the staff are starting to come in. So everything's starting to turn on. A little bit more light. Very beautiful. So at this point, let me take you up to my condo and I'll show you my condo. You finally made it to dinner. But anyway, glad you made it. Welcome to my house of love here. Uh, we had to make several takes here just because we filmed this during the day, but we were getting some crazy glare here. But you made it to dinner time. It's dark time out. The lighting is good. We're cooking over here. So come on in. Aang is filming, by the way. So Aang's my girlfriend. She's sitting behind the camera thinking to herself, what do you mean the Chad's house of love? But anyway, this is the condo. Now, average condos in Thailand really fast here. This is a one bedroom. So one bedrooms will range anywhere from 30 square meters up to maybe 40. They do get bigger than that, but this is kind of the average. So here at La Casita, this condo is 37 square meters. It is more of a modern style, an open concept, meaning that it has the sliding glass doors here for the bedroom. So I do like this rather than a wall. Like some people kind of come in and when they look at La Casita, they think this is a studio. It's not a studio, it's a one bedroom because a wall isn't here. But they do have some of them here at La Casita. When you have a wall here, this right here seems like a shoebox. Okay, so I like the open concept because it makes everything look bigger than what it actually is. So I love this. This is the living room, by the way. Behind these pretty little curtains is the balcony. We'll show you that in a second. Then it's nighttime, so you'll see the lights and everything at nighttime, because you didn't see that when we did the walkthrough earlier. But anyway, this is the living room. A couple couches. We got the TV here. Some wine. We almost drank it all. I think we got one bottle up there. So this is where I keep all my books, so like some this random stuff that we have. The kitchen table. This is how I actually live, so I didn't really clean this place. I wanted to show you kind of the real deal. So it's, I mean, a tiny bit cluttery, but not too bad. So that's the living room. This is the bedroom. My little like money rug right there. That way, it's always successful development. But anyway, this is the bed. This is where all the magic happens. A little bit of magic. My computer's over here. We have this little nook place over here, so I put a desk there with my computers on it. The one of the couches over here, they had a little mini sofa sitting over here in the nook area that it didn't really make sense to me. I mean, maybe you have kids, maybe a kid would hang out there, but I didn't use it, so I moved the mini couch over here, and there's a nice little setup for a work area for myself. So I did that, installed that. This bad boy, Aang's giving me the eye, like, why do you talk like this when you film? But we got the closet over here. Each room, what I love about Thailand, what I love about the condos, any condo, any luxury condo, every room comes with a air conditioner. So we have an air conditioner here, an air conditioner in the living room. So at nighttime, that way we're not just running both air conditioners, or one air conditioner isn't running from the living room to the bedroom. So if we close this at nighttime, this air conditioner only runs and cools down this room right here. So there's always, even if you buy a house, there's usually an air conditioner in every single room. But anyway, let's jump in here. We got the kitchen. I didn't show you the kitchen yet. We are cooking because it's dinner time. So I would say you could join us, but you're not here yet in person. But we are cooking. Here, it's just a small little kitchen, but one thing with La Casita, but this is really about La Casita, not every single condo, but La Casita, no matter if you have a studio, one bedroom, or two bedroom, it comes with the same size kitchen. So even this kitchen right here, you get the same size in a studio. Then even if I upgrade to a two bedroom, it's the same size. The only difference is is there would be a bedroom on this side, for example, and a bedroom on this side, for example, but the living area is exactly the same. Just because if you're looking for a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. But the kitchen, I can't touch it. It's hot, but we got the countertop, a couple burners, the microwave, of course, where we store the dishes. I bought this. I bought like majority of the stuff in here, what you see, just because we love to cook. So we do eat out a lot also. Maybe, I don't want to say 50-50, but maybe it's 60-40, 70-30, something like that. But we eat a lot at home. We love to cook. We love to eat healthy. We love to get coconut. This is what I love about Thailand as well, because you can eat really, really, really healthy here. Because if you go to street markets, you buy the produce, vegetables, fruits, everything's from a local, meaning it's from their local land. You're not buying things from a commercial farmer or commercial stores where they spray everything. They spray everything with pesticides, fungicides, and all that stuff. So everything's way more healthy here. So in Thailand, even in the Philippines and Asia in general, you're going to eat way more healthy. So we eat a lot at home. Comes with a bad boy refrigerator. You also want a big refrigerator if you're going to cook at home, because I see some condos, they come with a little mini fridge and it's just not enough room. Maybe if you're by yourself and you hate cooking, it would work for you. But me, even if I was by myself, I would still be in a 1 bedroom. I would still be doing all this stuff. I would still have a big refrigerator. Lastly, I talked about this downstairs. The reverse osmosis machine is right downstairs. I live in building A again. So we installed this just because we got tired of filling up these bad boys every other day. So, and this is really super cheap. This is a 5-gallon water jug. Only costs like 14 baht with a reverse osmosis machine downstairs. 14 baht, give and take, maybe 40 cents, like USD, US dollar. It's only 40 cents to fill this up. But it just makes life a little bit easier. But that's the kitchen. Just a kind of a normal average kitchen in Thailand. So now let's take a look at the balcony. Then I can open everything up, have Ang give you a little look. And since it's dark, you're going to be able to see the lights, because when I gave you the tour before, early in the morning, everything was off. The fountains were off. The lights were off. But at nighttime, it looks fantastic. When you go down and walk around at nighttime, it's beautiful. So let's go out there and see the view. This is my table and chairs for the balcony. Then Ang will show you the pool. The view of the pool, the view at nighttime. So you can see all the lights, and the lights are just beautiful. And that's our view. Now come back in. We are going to get ready to eat dinner. But while I'm finishing dinner, or while Ang's finishing dinner, I am going to sit down with you and do the pros and cons with actually living here in La Casita. Now I'm going to try to be as transparent as I possibly can. I've been here for 1 year, so that's really important to me, because it's not like I've been here for 2 weeks and doing a video. I've been here for 1 year, so I have a lot to share, a lot to discuss with you. So other than that, she's all finished dinner, and we're going to sit down and discuss the pros and cons. Hey everybody, we are back. Just hang out kind of by the computers in the bedroom. Ang is over there getting ready to make dinner. So it's going to be a little bit loud, so shut the door so it kind of holds the sound in. But anyway, let's talk about the pros and cons here. And I'm going to be really as transparent as I really can. Just because if you are really thinking about staying long-term in Thailand, you think about really staying long-term even at La Casita, where you're going to do a 3-month, 6-month, or a year lease. I'm going to try to be as transparent as I can to help you out. And that way you're not really shocked if you come here or you don't like something. You know, we all have our own little pet peeves and stuff like that. What bothers me might not bother you, of course. But I'm gonna be honest with you, kind of kind of what I really like and what I kind of didn't like in the beginning that I had to get used to a little bit. But anyway, starting off with the pros, one of the things with La Casita, one of the things I really loved is one, it's new. This was built in 2019. It's only about 5 years old, and they keep it up pretty good as far as, you know, replacing things, updating things, fixing things. I mean, as I walked you around outside, since I've been here for 1 year, they've always kept the grounds looking very, very clean. The pool's always clean. The equipment's always clean. The trees are always trimmed. The bushes are always trimmed. It's never gotten overgrown here. So I didn't take you outside like they only cut everything a couple months and I have to go outside and film now. It's going to look nasty out. And the reason I bring that up, because some condos you'll go and you'll see in person, you can kind of tell that they don't keep up with it very good. But with La Casita, that's really a pro. They keep up with everything and make everything look beautiful and nice and new. So that's one thing I really liked. The second thing is, of course, the pool. It's just an opinion. And also, I've lived in Hua Hin right now for 1 year. So I've been in Hua Hin for 1 year. My girlfriend, Ang, she's lived in Hua Hin for 10 years. So, I mean, she has more experience than me in Hua Hin, of course. But as far as the pool in La Casita, it's probably the top 3 pools in Hua Hin. So it's a big pool that stretches out the whole place of the condo, as you could see in the video. So the pool, okay. The third thing I really like is the location. Probably the top location for me is just the location of La Casita. Now, one time, my first lease, I signed a 6-month lease. Then after I did my 6-month lease, I signed another 1-year lease. So after 6 months, I was honestly going to leave La Casita, and I'll tell you the reason here in a little bit. But I ended up getting really sick after Sagrand, so then I didn't really have time to look around. And then I ended up signing a year lease again. And then I did look around some, but as far as Hua Hin, I didn't like the locations of condos. When I walked around other condos, it didn't look like they did the upkeep very good, or I didn't like the parking. There was just something I didn't like, but most of it was just location, or the location's loud. So this is something you have to, if you're looking for a condo, sometimes you don't think about this. Sometimes condos are built cheap. Okay, no matter if they're luxury. I mean, this might hurt your feelings. You might cry when I say this, but a lot of condos are built cheap, meaning like the insulation is cheap. It might not be soundproof. So if your condo is by nightlife, if your condo is by a bar that has a band, that band plays 7 days a week till midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, well, guess what? It's going to be loud. So when you go deeper in Hua Hin, some of these nice condos that go deeper in Hua Hin, the main issue is it's very, very loud. Most people break their leases in those kind of places. So that's why I don't live in those places, because it's too loud. With La Casita, it's prime location. You're right on the big road. I don't get no noise. And you're right in the, like I said before, you're right in the middle. It's a 10-minute walk either way, but you're right in the middle of both 2 malls in Hua Hin. You got Market Village and you got Bluport. Now, in my opinion, Market Village is way more popular than Bluport. They've tried to make Bluport more of an upscale mall, but it's not. It's a little bit too pricey for Hua Hin, so it's not as popular. It's nice. It looks nice, but Market Village is pretty much the popularity zone. Then once it hits high season at Market Village, they always have bands play down there. Singers go down there. It's almost like a little beer garden every single night down there from like mid-November clear up until May. So that's a walking distance as well. If you're into bars, you're really close to Soy 94. Soy 94 is right outside, a little bit past, like if you walk right past Bangkok Hospital. So it's walking distance. You can walk up to the bars. It's a little section of bars up there. You're close to restaurants on the main strip, like if you're going to walk to the malls. So you're in a prime spot. You could easily cross the big road and go to the beach. You're like 10 minutes away just walking. Most of that is just crossing the street. And there's little paths that kind of go to the ocean, to the beach. So this is prime spot. This is why people stay in La Casita. This is the main reason why La Casita is so popular, is because it's just, you got the prime location. It's new. They got plenty of staff. Everything's kept nice. Those are really the pros. Now let's kind of flip over to the con. Okay, kind of like what I didn't like, or what I had to adjust to, or what I had to bring to my agent's attention and the juristic office attention. Just because I'm that type of person. If something bothers me, I like to communicate it. That way, if I communicate it, then out of sight, out of mind, I'm done with it, you know. But the biggest thing with La Casita that could be a deal breaker for you, I'm going to say this right now. If you're just on vacation, okay, you're only coming here for a couple weeks, maybe you come here for the most for a month. For me, just my personal opinion, I would not pick a condo. Okay, I would stay at a resort. You're probably going to have a way funner time at a resort when you're just staying short term on vacation. I know a condo might be cheaper as far as budget than a resort, but if you're only here for a couple weeks, I would 100% pick a resort, just because you're going to have a way more better time at a resort. And at this point, I really know what I'm talking about. I've lived in Thailand for 3 years. I lived in Phuket, Thailand for 1 year. The whole year I lived in Phuket, I did resort living. So I lived at a resort for 1 year. Then when I came to Hua Hin, that's when I transitioned over to a condo. So now I've been living in a condo for a little bit over 1 year. So I've done both. I've done both sides in Thailand. So if you only come in short term, the issue is not all condos, some condos, and La Casita is one of them, some condos have a lot of rules with them. Okay, and these are some of the examples. You're not allowed to eat downstairs. You're not allowed to eat in the waiting area downstairs, like how I showed you. You're not allowed to eat food by the pool. You're not allowed to drink by the pool. No alcohol by the pool. So this kind of really contradicts a lot of YouTubers that love to do videos, especially in Bangkok, and they show you these awesome condos to live in, and they show you these awesome infinity pools, and they tell you, oh, you can just come down here, sit down by the pool and drink a beer. But yet in their videos, nobody's sitting down there drinking a beer because they're not allowed. Now some condos, they might not care. And maybe if you're the owner of the condo, like if I'm the owner here, I might be allowed to go down there and have a beer because I'm the owner. They're not going to say nothing to me because I own this. But if you're a renter, if you're a tenant, they're probably going to say something to you. So just to keep that in mind, if you're really thinking of a vacation, I'm really giving you good advice here, is you're going to have a way funner time at a resort, because at a resort, they got restaurants at the resort. You got a bar right by the pool. You can drink in the pool. You can have martinis and cocktails and margaritas in the pool. I mean, that's what a resort here. Resorts built for a lot of people. A resort's built for vacationers. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, you're just going to have a funner time. Now I said my piece about that. Now let's flip over and say, okay, I'm staying at La Casita for a month or more. I'm going to sign a 3-month, 6-month, or a year lease. Another thing I didn't like, I brought this up a little bit when I showed you the parking, is the parking. They have a main issue with the parking just because there's 700 units and there's only 200 parking spaces. So right there's going to be issues. Like I've come home several times at nighttime and not have parking, and I'm a tenant here. Now there's other issues that come with parking, meaning like they're not as strict with parking here. So they're slowly getting stricter the longer I stay here. They're slowly kind of getting their act together. The management is starting to come down harder on the juristic office and security, but it's just taking some time. Just because with parking, they let staff park here, they let their friends park here, they let people that don't live here park here, they let visitors park here. So all these extra people that park here take up tenant parking. So that's why I said, like, if you own a car or a motorbike, this might frustrate you here at La Casita, but they are getting a little bit better with it, but it's not anywhere near perfect yet how I would like to see it. Next thing I did bring up rules. La Casita has really funny rules that really kind of violate tenant laws here in Thailand. You do have tenant laws in Thailand. When you sign a lease, you have, listen to this, when you sign a lease, you have the same rights as the owner. So when I sign a year lease here, I'm just like the owner. I can do everything the owner can do. So sometimes in condos, especially if you're familiar with Thailand, if condos get where they're not strict, what ends up happening is the juristic office comes up with their own rules. Then there's always like a money scheme attached to it. So I'll give you an example. They come up with their own rules, but the rules aren't for owners because remember, the owner, like if I'm an owner, I can get people here fired. Bottom line, you know what I mean? But if I'm a tenant, when you're a tenant, you're kind of in that gray area a little bit, where they think that you have to obey their rules that they're setting, but their rules are not being passed through the management of the condo. So I'll give you some examples here that kind of butted headway a little bit. Is they have really funny rules, like you're not allowed to smoke in a condo, you're not allowed to smoke outside on a balcony, you're not allowed to smoke outside. So they try to say it's non-smoking, but yet when owners come here, you see owners smoke. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're caught smoking, it's a 2,000 baht fine. You have to pay 2,000 baht if they catch you smoking, or if someone complains that you're smoking and can prove that you're smoking, it's 2,000 baht. Then there's also been like the smoking is one of them, like eating or drinking down at the pool is one of them. You can't drink by the pool, it's a fine. If you don't pick up after yourself outside, it's a 500 baht fine. So that's what I mean, like little really weird rules for like a condo complex where residents really live. That's why I mean, like these kind of expenses kind of violate tenant laws because I can do whatever the owner can do. A lot of times they try to get juristic office staff try to get away with this, but they think you don't know. It did happen to me, not the smoking part, but when I first came here, remember the grill I showed you? Well, when everybody checks in, they tell everybody they're not allowed to use the grill. I came down to use the grill and they told me I wasn't allowed to use it. Then they asked me, "Are you an owner?" And I said, "Well, no." And they said, "Well, you can't use it." And I said, "Well, I'm a tenant. I'm a long-term tenant here." So they knew what I mean. Like when I'm a long-term tenant here, like they kind of get the drift that I've been in Thailand for a while. I know tenant laws and stuff like that. And tenant laws are going to be similar with your own country that floats over to Thailand. So then they said, "Oh, well, okay, when do you want to use it?" And I said, "Well, no, I just was checking, if it works and everything." And they said, "Yeah, it works." But then after that, they try to charge me to use it. They try to charge me 100 baht to use to use the grill. So then I told my agent said, "Well, they can't charge you. The owner pays their monthly fee, the owner pays, like your HOA fees, like everything comes with a unit. You're just like the owner. They can't do that stuff." So the agent actually had to go down and talk to the staff. That's what I mean. That's the only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way with La Casita is the staff in the beginning, because they came up with these little money schemes. So it just kind of put a sour taste in my mouth when you're paying for a luxury complex and staying in a luxury complex. Hey friends, the last thing I want to bring up, and yes, I know I look different, but I wanted to add this in, I forgot, is when we really talk about La Casita and you really look at the rooms, okay, this might be a deal breaker for you, 100% a deal breaker if you're thinking about only staying here for a week or 2 weeks. This is 100% deal breaker for you. And this would actually, if I only stay here for a couple weeks, this would actually piss me off. I would probably try to get my money back and go someplace else. But this may be a deal breaker if you were looking at a long term. And it's this, is all these condos inside La Casita, they're cheap. Okay. All the furniture they put in La Casita is cheap, like dirt cheap, like the cheapest of the cheap. Because when owners came in, they bought all the condos. Okay. One of the deals they have with La Casita is the condo units would come with the bare essentials. They would come with a couch, they would come with a bed mattress already, come with a refrigerator, maybe come with a kitchen table, and that's about it. But they put the same style couches and bed mattresses and refrigerator in every single unit. As you can guess, when they did that, they just put the cheapest of the cheap. when the owners came in and bought it, the owner's mindset is they just want to rent it out, so they just left the cheap furniture in here. And it's a deal breaker either way, because for one, when you live here and you're truly living here, like for myself, I've been here 1 year already, is you're going to have days where you don't feel good. You're going to have days where you just feel blah. You don't feel like doing anything. You just want to relax in front of the TV, watch a movie. And then even if you're not like that, okay, there's also rainy season. When rainy season comes in, 100%, there's only be days, 3-4 days in a row where it rains all flipping day. You can't do anything, and you're really stuck in your place. You're stuck in your condo. And when your condo is super uncomfortable, you have the cheapest bed mattress. Okay, let me tell you. The couch in the living room is crazy uncomfortable. It's like sitting on a board. It's going to get to you, and it's going to get to you fast. Okay. And this is probably another number one why people leave. It's just I can't take the furniture. I can't take the cheapness of everything. Or they downgrade. Some people start off with a 2-bedroom, then they downgrade to a 1-bedroom. They're in a 1-bedroom, then they downgrade to a studio. Their whole reasoning is I never used the living room. I never used the furniture because it's so cheap. It's so uncomfortable to sit on. I'm just wasting my money. I might as well just live in a studio. Okay, now another thing that comes with this, when I said, like, if you're just on vacation for a couple weeks, is La Casita is really bad at this. The owners are really bad at this. Is for example, when I moved into this room, remember I told you I bought everything for this room. Only thing I didn't buy for this room is the bed mattress, the couch, and the refrigerator, and the table. Everything else I bought. There's a reason why because it didn't come with anything. You know what I mean? So imagine you're on a week of vacation, you book this room, and they tell you it comes furnished. They show you pictures of it coming furnished, and you think you're going to be taken care of. But when you come in, there's just like little random dishes. There's no coffee maker. There's no blender. There's no pots and pans to cook. There's no iron and ironing board to iron your clothes. There's no washer to wash your clothes. There's literally nothing. And a lot of these units are like this. So that's why I say, like, this is why I try to give you your best advice. That's why I say, if it was me, if I was going for vacation, I'm talking about only vacation here, go to a resort. Okay? Because you can book plenty of nice resorts, the same thing it costs you to stay a week or two at La Casita. Right now, staying a week or two at La Casita, just for a vacation, is the same price as a fancy resort. You're going to enjoy your time at a fancy resort than staying in a condo. Okay, you don't want to come to a condo like La Casita. You're only here for 2 weeks, and it doesn't come with nothing. Okay, and of course you're on vacation. You're not going to buy it. Okay, I even had to go out. I don't know if you can see the fan over it. I had to buy the fan. Okay, even though we got air conditioning, but you don't want that to run all the time. I had to go out and buy the fans. But I did that because I knew I was going to live here. Okay, I did that because I knew I was going to stay here for a year. Okay, then if I move someplace else in Thailand, it's my stuff. I can take it with me. So that's why I did that. Okay. Plus, when you live here, you want things to be homey. You want things to be. It feels like home to you. Okay. When you come in here I'm still talking about La Casita. When you come in here and there's just nothing in here, it makes it look like a cheap hotel. Okay, if you're from the States, you know what I'm talking about. Like you stay in a Motel 6. Okay, Motel 6 could be a brand new, but it's very, very basic. You go in there, they have nothing for you. Okay, so that's what it really reminded me of. It's like, it just reminds me of a cheap condo, or it just reminds me of a cheap hotel. Like I'm just referring to the room itself, not the pool. Okay. Another thing too, if you plan to live, you notice when I gave you a walkthrough, there's nothing hanging on my walls. Okay. Now this can be a deal breaker too. If you want to live somewhere, you have to ask. Okay. Now here in this room here at La Casita, they pretty much don't want nothing hanging on the walls. Okay. You can't buy pictures to hang on the walls. You can't buy anything to hang on the walls. You have to try to either pass that through the owner themselves or the agent. Most of the time, the agent will tell you no. If you hang anything on the walls, you can pretty much kiss your deposit goodbye. Okay. So you can't just assume like what you can do in your country, you can also do in Thailand when you rent. Okay. Like when I rent an apartment or condo in the United States or a house, I can pretty much do anything I want. I can go in there and repaint the walls if I wanted. I can go in there and hang pictures and hang everything on the walls. You know, as long as either they fix it after I leave or I fix it before I leave. Here, they kind of frown on that. They don't want nothing on the walls. And that's why you're to see all my walls are kind of bare. That bothers me a little bit, but that's a learning experience too, because I didn't know that before I came here. What else? Okay. The only last thing here, if you have a family coming to Hua Hin, I'm not just talking about La Casita at this point. I'm really talking about Hua Hin. If you have a family, you have kids, really pay attention to your kids. Don't let, especially if you're outside, don't let them run in front of you. If you're crossing the street, don't let them run in front of you in the street. Traffic is very bad in Hua Hin. Traffic, in my opinion, traffic is very dangerous in Hua Hin. I mean, I lived in Phuket for 1 year, and I felt safer in Phuket than I do in Hua Hin as far as talking about traffic. In Hua Hin, the locals are really bad at running red lights, running stop signs. They don't stop. If you're in a crosswalk, they won't stop for you. You're in the middle of the crosswalk, and they're literally going 60 miles an hour past you and don't stop. So this is what I tell people too. Like, you can't change it. I've even went to the police station, to tourist police. They still don't do anything. So I can't really say they don't care, but they're not stopping it. Okay. So, you know, if you have kids, you really have to pay attention to your kids. You know, they either walk beside you or they walk behind you a little bit. They're not running in front of you. Okay. Or, you know, you don't want them to be in a bad accident here in Thailand, because it's Thai law, okay? And it's not going to go your way most of the time. So you just, you know, you're in another country. Bottom line, okay, stop listening to these people, that other YouTubers that just show the glamorous part of Thailand. Yes, Thailand is very nice. Almost knocked off my my big external drive there. Yes, Thailand is really nice, okay? But just like every country has its pros and cons. You have to be careful. You have to use common sense, okay? So this is the common sense part of being in Thailand, is traffic, okay? You have to use severe common sense when it comes to traffic and when you have kids. So a lot of foreigners, a lot of Falong get hit by cars, get hit by motorbikes, and they get their legs broke. They go to the hospital all the time. A lot of this happens in Thailand. So you don't want to be on vacation and you spend your whole vacation in the hospital because you got hit by a motorbike because you crossed the street and you weren't paying attention. Okay, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. The bottom line, it's going to come out of your pocket and you're going to pay for it. Make sense? Same way if I'm driving my motorbike, and even if it's the Thai locals' fault, most of the time they don't have a driver's license. Most of the time they don't have insurance. So guess what? If they total my motorbike, I'm on the hook. I'm the one that has to buy myself a new bike. Okay. So you have to use common sense. You have to take responsibility. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your family. That's the best advice I can give you. And this goes for every country you're going to, and it goes for your own country that you live in. So other than that, my friends, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was a long video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course, if you have questions, comment below and I'll help you out. Been living in Thailand for 3 years now, and been living in Hua Hin for 1 year. 1 year now, a little bit over 1 year. And I've been at La Casita for 1 year. So if you have any questions, comment below and I'll help you guys out. Remember, blessings to you. Peace be with you. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.